Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome or welcome back to Stars Land Oracle YouTube channel. Cat Star here, and today we're just going to take a look at what messages need to come through for you, Aquarius. What messages need to come through for Aquarius? We've got the two decks here. We're just going to use oracle cards today, as that is what I was drawn to. Actually, I haven't used this deck in quite a long time, and I had to go searching for it. I have quite a few decks, and sometimes I kind of don't remember that I have certain decks until it comes up as a little nudge to use that deck. So this is the deck that was indicated. Again, we're just using oracle cards today. So we're going to see what messages need to come through for you, Aquarius. Now, as a reminder, my readings are for entertainment and are general in nature. They may or may not resonate for everybody, so please do take what is for you and leave what isn't. For those of you liking and sharing the videos, thank you so much. It does help others to be able to see these messages that might not otherwise. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to get 5 cards, and then we're going to get one of these guys over here today, and I'm just doing it the way the way that it is being indicated for me too, so it may or may not make sense, but that is how that is coming through. So, and then we'll get one of these at the end. Let's see. Oh, all right. Wow, we're going to leave these two. All right, so starting off, some of you have been feeling helpless and hopeless, Aquarius. Oh, I'm sending so much love out to each and every one of you that are feeling this way. Some of you have been feeling helpless and hopeless, feeling as if there's not a lot that maybe you can do about a situation, or maybe you feel like you're kind of backed into a corner around something. What is coming through here is that there's always a different choice. There's always a different option. There's always opportunities when we open up to the light, right? That is all around us. It's almost as if this is a crossroads kind of thing. Like there's one path here, there's one path here, but there's also a path right down the center that leads to kind of the light, right? Or leads you out of the darkness. So you're being reminded here, Aquarius, that there is a light through the tunnel, or a light at the end of the tunnel, a light through the darkness. And if you look here, there's also mountains on either side. So some of you have really been feeling like you have been kind of needing to rise up a little bit, or needing to kind of make a move, adjust certain things, that sort of thing. And in the absence of doing that, now, you know, don't come after the messenger here. In the absence of doing that can leave us in this place of feeling helpless or hopeless, but we're never helpless. There's always help around us if we can connect to that, if we can open ourselves up to that. Sometimes we shy away, Aquarius, from asking for help or letting others know that we need help, and then we can get ourselves where it feels like we're just stuck in this hole, and we are not able to climb out of it, and then we get into this hopeless state as if we're going to be here forever. There's times where pride gets in the way, Aquarius. There's times when our ego is really kind of giving us the orders, and we can get ourselves in this really deep, hopeless, helpless place. And that, you know, is it's not something that we really want to a lot of times broadcast to others, that we're in these places. But asking for help, opening yourself up, is going to really bring about a resolution to you for this. It's also going to help you to move through that light. So for those of you, again, that are feeling that way, I'm sending so much love and so much you know, support and hugs and energy to you to assist you in moving out of that space. Now you also have win or lose. So the win or lose here coming through, really interesting. Now the win or lose is, some of you are feeling as if this is either a win or lose situation for you, that asking for help may be seen as a loss of some sort, that it may be seen as showing your weakness, and that's not the case, Aquarius. Some of you are very much in your mind with the helpless and hopeless and this win or lose card, because this is very much kind of a mental energy, like telling yourself that potentially you have failed, or telling yourself that, we can't ask for help, or you can't ask for help because this person might think this, or you're supposed to do it all on your own, or you're independent, and that sort of thing is what's coming through, is like this, I should, or I shouldn't. But Aquarius, this isn't that kind of a situation, is what Spirit's coming through. But this isn't that if you reach out for help, that you'll lose. Actually, reaching out for guidance, for support, it is really going to assist you in winning, because other people are always so often, or most generally often, so willing to help when they know that you need assistance. Other people are generally really open to talking to you, to listening to you, to letting you vent, to letting you cry if that's what you need to do. But it's very difficult for others to know which situations we may be in, or you may be in, Aquarius, and they can't help if they don't know. So really opening up to not seeing this feeling, right, of feeling helpless or hopeless, and feeling all alone, is what's coming through. That some of you just feel really, really alone, but you're being reminded that there is a lot of love around you, a lot of support around you, and that it's such a big win for you when you are able to open up and to let other people in. Of course, really, that is what's coming through, is letting other people in. And it's not a loss to show vulnerability or to ask for help. It is in fact a win. So it's coming through that there's a potential that some of you feel like it's a double-edged sword, that people will see you differently or think differently about you. And what Spirit is bringing through with this, Aquarius, is that people will be able to see the light around you, Aquarius, because you have so much beautiful, brilliant light around you, that they'll be able to see that light around you, and that nobody's really going to think anything different of you. There's no reason for them to. We all go through cycles, we all go through patterns, we all go through challenges. There's times where we really feel like we're up and winning, and there's other times when we feel like we may be a little bit lower, and we may not feel like we're really winning. In fact, we may feel as if we're at a loss at the moment. And with those hopeless and helpless feelings, that does feel at a loss. That does feel at a detriment to you, Aquarius. And so staying in that state isn't going to help you find your way through that light, unless you're able to pull yourself out. And if you are able to pull yourself out of that space into the light, finding that path, because it's being indicated here that the path is down the center. It's not to the left, to the right, to either side. It's right down the middle, Aquarius. And for those of you that are able to pull yourself out of that on your own without any assistance, kudos to you. And for those of you that aren't, that is beautiful as well, right? It's not a loss. It's not a double, or it doesn't have to be a double-edged sword. We don't have to put ourselves in positions. And if there are people around us that we are concerned about how they may see us, or what they may think about us, or if they think that we're, not as whatever as we thought, then maybe those aren't people that, that may be an indication to you that those people may not be as true to you, or part of your tribe, or that ride or die for you as maybe you thought. It may be some information coming through that is going to be beneficial for you in the future, because if you don't feel like you can speak to the people that are close to you, maybe family members, friends, however that resonates, it may be time to reevaluate there, Aquarius. And then you also have find balance, right? So balancing out, again, not everything has to be like a win, and not everything has to be considered a loss. There can be that balance in between. When we tend to feel hopeless or helpless, Aquarius, it tends to be, a lot of times, what's coming through here is that we are super focused on ourselves. Again, don't shoot the messenger here. And balancing out between your needs and really putting energy out towards other people, helping other people, maybe volunteering at like a somewhere, right, a community center, or volunteering maybe at like a soup kitchen, or even at a hospital or a retirement center, doing something to get you out and kind of get yourself out of your thoughts, right? Because this is a lot of mental energy here. Get yourself out of your thoughts and kind of back into this physical movement, finding this balance between, really focusing on what is going on in your life, but also focusing on how you can give back to others. That can really, really assist you or help you to move through this state by really, giving that energy that maybe you're holding uh, up in your mind or holding within yourself, giving that and moving your body, having that movement, but finding that balance in between and not focusing so much on, the mental side or even figuring things out, because sometimes when we put all of our focus on how do I do this, how do I do this, what do I do, how do I do this, how do I do, we can get ourselves into that state of, oh, we'll never figure it out, it'll never happen, I'm not going to figure it out. But when we can get ourselves out and doing other things and thinking about other things and helping people or doing what have you, Aquarius, we get that balance back where it's like, oh wait, yeah, the answer is so simple, or the solution is so simple, because it comes to you when you're not so hyper focused on it. Okay, so getting out, finding some balance, potentially, volunteering. Maybe this is getting out in nature, getting out by water. Water always recharges me. That sort of thing. But finding the balance, getting yourself out of that state, or asking for that assistance to help you, right? Maybe you have, I'm sorry if you can hear the dogs barking. I don't know what they're barking at. But if you have a friend that does something that is interesting to you, maybe asking if you can tag along with them. Ask people questions. Pick other people's brains, right? About stuff that's interesting to you, stuff that you've been wondering about, stuff that you've been thinking about, and get yourself out of that space, okay? All right. And then you also have choose your battles, Aquarius. I cannot make this stuff up. Look at this. You have choose your battles. So, yes, so this is a beautiful, beautiful message. Some of you really, really need to hear this. Sometimes we take on things or we hold on to things that really aren't ours to hold on to. And sometimes that can be those feelings. Sometimes that can be those thoughts. Sometimes it can be us feeling that we are losing, or on kind of the down scale, and not on the upper scale of winning. And those are battles that we get to choose. We can be on one or the other side, in the center. And look at how interesting this is. I'm so sorry, I don't know why the dogs are barking so much, but we look at, there's one on each side and one in the center, and the person looking. There's one on each side, one in the center, and the person looking. Aquarius, if you needed any more confirmation, here it is. There are always more than one ways to see a situation. There are always many opportunities around, and sometimes it's just right down the center. But choosing the battles, choosing what to give attention to, where to place your focus, that is going to be very, very important for you during this time. If you are feeling as if you're feeling that hopeless energy, or that win or lose energy, like it's like one or the other is what's coming through here, without win or lose. Either you win or either you lose, as it feels like that's what you're saying to yourself, Aquarius. And Spirit is indicating, no, choose your battles. There isn't have to be a solid loss or a solid win. There can be that balance in between. There can be that moderation. There can be, where you're hustling, working towards a goal. And then there's also got to be that break time, or that period of rest, of course. So it's really being indicated here, if you're feeling helpless and hopeless, do something fun, do something with family, volunteer, as we talked about before, and get yourself into a different state, because the battles that potentially you have been choosing as of late have potentially been keeping you in this state, or this feeling of winning or losing. But there is that middle ground. There is that middle ground. So choose your battles wisely, Aquarius. And in that, choose where you're putting your attention, choose what you're focusing on, choose, kind of where you're spending your time. If you're spending your time always up in your head and not moving down into your heart, or if you're spending your time kind of by yourself, or staying a little bit isolated and not getting out into the world, that is a battle that's not potentially benefiting you. It's there's that time for hermit energy to go in and have that kind of isolation or retrospection, that sort of thing. But for you, Aquarius, it feels like during, in this state that those of you that resonate with this are in, that it's time for you to get out and do something. And then you also have moving on. This is such a gorgeous, gorgeous reading, Aquarius. So some of you are really, really in this place where you are ready. It's so gorgeous. This is a huge reading for you, Aquarius, because it's really, really moving you through kind of the state. So, and it's so candid. I'm like, wow, this is such a super candid message that's coming through for you. That spirit is like, you really get to participate in this. You don't have to stay in these places, stay in these states for extended period of times. You don't have to feel down. If you do have down times, Aquarius, that is just fine. We all have that win or lose kind of energy. We all have that kind of feeling a little bit helpless or hopeless depending on what's going on, but we don't have to stay there. We can find that balance. We can choose the battles, and we can move on. We can move on. We can get out. Look at this, out by the water, as I said, so we can move on. Do something fun. If you know somebody who has a boat, see if you can get out on the water and ride the boat. Something that is going to refocus your attention, refocus your energy out of this kind of state, that helpless, hopeless state, and get you back into this place. Do something that no matter what, Aquarius, you will win, okay? To remind yourself that you are a winner. You are a winner. Let yourself choose the battles and move on from the ones that are not really worthy of your time or your attention, at least at this point. Things that are going to feel like they're dragging you down more, or things that are going to feel or create this state where you feel more helpless or more hopeless, move away from those things just during this time, Aquarius. Just during this time, find that balance, that moderation. Get out and volunteer. Get out by the water. Get out in nature. Get with friends. Get with other people. Have conversations. Call people if they're long distance. Take a vacation. Take a trip if you can. Just to move that energy out. Move that energy out, Aquarius, because moving on is all about that, right? You get to go through, you get to have like those moments, right? Because we all do. This is nothing new for anybody on the planet. We all have those feelings of kind of being up and down as far as win and loss. We all have those feelings of kind of sometimes feeling helpless or feeling hopeless. We all have those moments where we have to really pick our battles. Is this worth my focus? Is this worth my attention? Does this really matter in the big picture, in the long run? And we get to find balance, and we also get to choose when the moment is right for us to move on, where we get out of our head, where we get out of the environment, where we move away potentially from people that are not supporting, or people that where if we're concerned about how they may think about us or what they may say, right? It's time to reevaluate that and potentially move on from that as well. Wow, this has really turned into a super phenomenal reading, Aquarius. Not that I doubted it at all, but I'm always super stoked when this type of reading comes through. And for those of you that really need to hear this message, it's always super important. This is a really huge, important reading for a lot of you out there, Aquarius, and I'm super excited that I get to bring it through, and that spirit is, bringing it through me to kind of bring it to you. This is gorgeous. All right, and let's see what last little bit of information. It says, inner knowing, the goose. You are a brave traveler. Just gives me goosebumps. Your soul knows the way. Aquarius, right here, look at this. Each side, the center, and this is you, not gender specific, male, female, doesn't matter, but you are looking out. It's almost as if you're looking out into the world and you're wondering which way is the way to go to move yourself out of the whole, or moved yourself out of the darkness into the light, right? Into the brightness, back into this state of really feeling hopeful and full of vibrant energy. And your soul knows the way. It's just goosebumps, Aquarius. I can't even make it up. Be confident you will achieve your destiny. Loyal friends are always with you. Don't worry. You are blessed. Let yourself fly. And then you have the goose there. So loyal friends are always with you, Aquarius, which goes right back to that. If you have that concern, it may be time to reevaluate your tribe, your friends, your however, your social groups, whatever it is, the environment, the 5 people or the people that you spend time with, right? If you're wondering, if you're concerned within this place that if you reach out to them and what are they going to think or what will they say or this or that, reevaluate those relationships, but also reevaluate kind of the way that you feel like other people see you, Aquarius, because if you feel like people are going to think something or feel something or even voice something about you different because of this, then there's something to look out there, because nobody should ever think anything different of anybody in search situations or circumstances that you may be in, Aquarius, because we all go through it, and we all, really can use and need that support system of those trusted people around us to be able to vent or to be able to open up or to be able to really trust and be able to open ourselves, open our heart, right? To allow to be able to say that these things are going on and be open for that support, that guidance, that love, right? So this is just gorgeous. Don't worry, you are blessed. Let yourself fly, Aquarius. Let yourself fly. So let yourself spread your wings, open up. Really do know that you are not the only person going through this stuff, that we all go through it at different times, different periods, in different ways. But everything doesn't have to be so one side or the other or so black and white, right? There can be that in between, that balance, right? That moderation. But you have the choices. You get to choose your battles, and the ones that aren't worth your attention, your focus, your time, it's time to move on from those. But also get yourself out, right? You've got the geese here. Go and find a park that has ducks or geese and feed them. Really pay attention to them. See how they nurture and love on each other, and how, they are free when they're in the water, how they're, that sort of thing. And really let yourself kind of move into that energy as well, Aquarius. Be open, be giving, and, potentially again, volunteer or spend time with people that you love and that you trust. Maybe even go to a movie with a friend or go to dinner. Do something to get yourself kind of out and moving, to remind you of all of that beautiful, splendid, energy that's around, and, so that you can suck some of that in yourself. All right, I do intend this resonated with you and for you. If it did, please do hit that like button and share this video. It does help others to be able to see these messages that might not otherwise. Also, I do want to say again, for those of you that may be going through this, I am sending so much love out to you, so much positive energy, virtual hugs, and just a whole bunch of really, really amazing thoughts and feelings to you, as these times can feel difficult. And I totally, totally have been there as well. So do feel free to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. It is free for you to subscribe to the channel, and it does help the Lucky Stars community to grow and thrive. Also, when you hit the bell, it does notify you every time I upload new readings. As always, I do wish you lots of hope, lots of joy, and lots of love with all of your current and future endeavors. I'll see you in the next reading.